Hi you guys, and welcome to Gamekeeper Catapults channel. Slingshot safety for you today. These are the cheap Chinese catapults that you see on eBay. They're about £1 or £2 delivered. One thing I want to clear up, these are not Dankong catapults. Dankong catapults from dankong.com are proper stainless steel. They're super strong. Don't get them confused with the cheap ones, because these definitely aren't Dankongs. Dankongs are the real deal and will pretty much indestructible, will never break. So I just wanted to clear that up before we carry on. Right, these are the cheap ones I brought. Cost about £1.60, £1.70 delivered from China, believe it or not, for them. That's each. And they're advertised as stainless steel. A lot of people say the zinc alloy and whatever. Well, we're going to clear it up today, because on forums and groups you see all the time that these snap, that they bend, that they're not safe or anything. But at the same time you also see people saying I've had them for years and I shoot them and they're still going strong. So there's sort of a myth going round. These cheap catapults that you can get for literally £1.50 delivered from a different country. So what we're going to do today is test a few things. We're going to pull on the forks, we're going to purposely fork it them, bend them, you know, we're going to give them some abuse really and just see what happens. You can make your own mind up. I'm not here to slag a catapult off and put it down. I'm here to do a test, because you know this video could well save you an eye or two, or one of your friends' eyes, or it could well save you a lot of money if they do prove to be strong, because they're only like £1.50 each. So we're going to do a few tests. We've got three catapults. I brought 3 different ones, so it's a fair test from different sellers and that. But they're all advertised as stainless steel. Now, listen to the difference in this. They all sound different when you hit them, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to give it a fair test. So there's my phone. I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay guys, so test 1, we're just going to give a steady pull on the forks. I'm using a piece of paracord, so I don't want to use elastic because I don't want it shooting back at me. So we're just going to give it a steady pull, see what happens. Let's have a look. See what that's done. I don't want to give it too much, because I want to give it normal, fair testing, if you know what I mean. And straight away you can see it's bent. That wasn't a lot of force at all, to be fair. I could have pulled that till it snapped then, but I didn't want to give it that much. It hasn't snapped. We'll give it a little pull. Try the other way, just see what happens. It's bending a lot. As you can see, it's bent that way now. That shouldn't be happening. If that was stainless steel, that wouldn't happen. And that's one of the thicker ones, so I'm dreading to see how them thin ones go in a minute. But that's that one. So what we'll do is get another one in the vise and see how we go. But yeah, it bends. No, it didn't break. Okay, so here goes the other one. Just like before, put that in. So that's exactly where your tubes would pull. And we'll just give it just a gentle tweak and see what happens. Now straight away that one feels actually quite solid. I'll just try the other side. I'm actually pulling that quite a bit harder, that one. Yeah, that's really got some pull to it, that. Looks like it might be bending a little bit, but we'll see. Don't look too bad. Let's get it out and have a look. To be fair, I don't know if it has bent a touch or not. Might have a minimal bend, but it looks pretty good. And to be fair, in all fairness, that does feel pretty solid. Interesting to see how it stands up to the other tests in a bit. When we drop it on the floor, tap it with an hammer, purposely fork it and all that stuff. So far this one seems a bit stronger than that one. Okay, so here we go again. This one is quite a bit thinner than the others, so we'll put that in as opposed to how a band would be, and we'll just give it a little pull. Shit, sorry, excuse my language. I really wasn't expecting that to go that easy. Wow, I didn't even pull it. Well, I did pull it, but I didn't pull it a lot. Jesus. That is not good at all. That really is not good. And if you've got that coming back to your eye, you know that, look, I don't know if you can see. Sharp as well. That is deadly, and I don't care if this offends whoever makes them. or not, they need to stop them, and I would avoid anybody buying that type. I know I said I wasn't going to slag nothing off, but you know, this is dangerous. Imagine if it's a child using it or something. What, look at that. You know, I'm trying not to swear here, but fucking hell. How can you sell that? That, pardon the language, is a load of shit. Don't buy one of them. Save your eyes. That is absolutely terrible. Absolutely disgusting that somebody can sell that, and there's hundreds of them on eBay. And you know, I've looked on the listing, because they're only £2 something delivered. People have sold like 200 or 300 of these. So a couple hundred of these around now all over the world, with people shooting them, totally oblivious that it could take your eye out. Look at that. Jesus Christ. Disgusting. Anyway, these two passed the first test. I did want to see how 4-kits and that put up with that catapult, but instead of 4-kit, I would say fuck it and ignore that one. That is atrocious, to say the least. Wow, a bit shocked with that, to be honest. I expected the Finner 1-2 break, but not that easy. And they're selling these with loop tubes and stuff on them, which is a lot heavier draw than I've just put. Damn right disgusting. Right then, let's try some 4-kit tests on these two. The only catapult I've got banded is my old natural with single 20mm straights. We're going to shoot a couple of 9.5mm balls at the fork tips, just to get an idea of what a 4-kit will do. So let's try Catapult 2, 4-kits. Okay then, so that was after the 4-kit test. As you can see, the first one never even made it that far to test the 4-kits. This one took quite a beating round there, but if you look, you can see that the hole's going, and that only took one hit there to bend that. So if you imagine that being hit 3 or 4 times, and don't forget this was only single 20mm with loop tubes, you hit that more than 2 or 3 times, I reckon that's coming off or bending. It's only got caught once there, but in its defence, it never snapped, and it took it like a stallion. This one took one nice one there on a thin part, took it. The handle's crap, bent a bit more, took another one there, and it took some more there. So they're taking it. Right then, let's move on to the next test. But like I say, I do think the way that has bent there, see the loop, it's come to the side, I do think a couple of it's with loop 1745, and that's going to bend and be unusable, or it's either going to snap off. But so far, credit where it's due, they are holding up. Shame we couldn't say that about the first one, eh? What we're going to do now is give it a bit more of an extreme pull to act like heavier bands. Got my GoPro there just for close-ups in case you want to watch anything. So, here goes. Band in the top hole, which is where you'd get the pull. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, say no more. It's bent and shredded, and that, it was harder than the first one, but you know, the bands this catapult come with, let me just grab these, this is ridiculous. Absolutely shocking again. These catapults come with these 6 layers. Now I'm a pretty big guy, and you know, they've got some serious pull them. Shocking. Shocking. Okay then, so this is our final surviving one. See how we go. Like I said, it's going to put a bit more pressure on this. We only slightly did them on the first test. This one's going to be a little bit harder. See where we're at. And yeah, they do snap. Don't get me wrong, that was a pretty strong pull. It was a decent pull, but there's no way a catapult should snap like that. It's no different from, you know, treble bands each side would give you the same pull, and over time with 4-kits and bending and bending, it's going to get even worse. You know, this is the brand new and they've been done. You imagine if they've been used, shot, bent a bit. Well, make your own mind up. Well, where'd you start? Bits of forks, stuff everywhere. How on earth people can get away with selling stuff like that? Shocking, isn't it? But yeah, you make your own mind up. I say, I'm here to slag nothing off, but Jesus Christ. This video could well have saved some people some eyes and stuff. Don't get me wrong, the last two took a fair beating, and in all fairness to her, I reckon with light bands and keeping away from the forkits and looking after her, I reckon that'd go a long time. That first one, that would snap with 10mm ferroband gold. It just went gone. So credit where it's due, the last two did put up a better fight, you know, but I know one thing for sure, I would never ever feel safe drawing one of them back with loop tubes or treble bands. Never on this earth would I use one of them. But the videos here, it's a myth that's been on the forums. Like I said, we've seen it. People are saying they're great the last years, people are saying they snap. I've done a few tests, given them a light pull first, given them some forkits, and I've given them sort of an heavier pull to match the heavier draw. After this I was going to go from dropping them out the bedroom window onto concrete. I was going to go from tapping them with an hammer, and I was going to try shooting them with some big lead balls and double bands. Unfortunately, I never even made it to them tests. So you make your own conclusion up. I'm just here to try and help people look after their eyes. Slingshot safety. Take care. And once again I'll say, these are not Dankung catapults. The ones that you get from dankung.com, stainless steel. You know, you could tow a car, put a car and a rope on each fork, you pull a car with them. They're the real deal. These aren't Dankungs. As I said, there's about 160 each off eBay delivered. And the scary, scary thing is, this one in particular, the first one, which was about £1.20, that broke, I've sold something like 300 or something in the last week or two. Shocking. All the best, lads. Stay tuned.